The all ammonia transferred in the liver will be converted into urea, and first this ammonia will condense with one molecule of carbon dioxide, one molecule of H2O, and two molecule of ATP to form carbamyl phosphate to form. The enzyme name is carbamyl phosphate synthetase 1. The compound form is named this reaction will occur in mitochondria. As the enzyme carbamyl phosphate synthetase 1 is present in mitochondria. The urea cycle, also known as ornithine cycle, because the first member of the reaction is ornithine. Ornithine react with the carbamyl phosphate. The citrulline will be converted into arginosuccinate. So what happens? Ornithine with carbamyl phosphate will be converted into citrulline. Citrulline will be converted into arginosuccinate. In that process also aspartate is needed. The arginosuccinate will be converted into arginine and fumarate. This arginine will be converted into ornithine. And the ornithine with the carbamyl phosphate will be converted into citrulline. This citrulline with aspartate will be converted into arginosuccinate. Arginosuccinate will be converted into arginine and fumarate. This cycle is known as urea cycle. So the 5 name is important. First one is carbamyl phosphate, and then the ornithine, citrulline, and arginosuccinate, and then arginine. These 5 compounds are the main components of urea cycle. The main enzyme is carbamyl phosphate synthetase 1. It is the main enzyme, and also this reaction is the rate limiting step. In the urea cycle, when arginine is converted into ornithine, one urea will be produced. One water molecule is needed for this process. When the citrulline will be converted into arginosuccinate, one ATP is needed. And here it is important to notice that the ATP will be converted into AMP and PPI, not ADP. That is nearly equivalent to consume 2 ATP. So the ATP will be converted into AMP and PPI. One water molecule also be released in that process. The aspartate is coming from the TCA cycle. Oxaloacetic acid is coming from the malate, and malate is coming from the fumarate. So this is basically a part of TCA cycle. And this area or this portion, it will be occur in the mitochondria of liver cell. Other all processes can be held in the cytoplasm. Citrulline also formed in the mitochondria. This area, these reactions also occur in the mitochondria. Then the citrulline will leave the mitochondria and come into cytoplasm and continues the cycle. And ornithine will enter into the mitochondria to form a new citrulline. The enzyme help in this process to convert ornithine into citrulline with the help of carbamyl phosphate, ornithine trans-carbamylase, also known as OTC. In OTC deficiency, the concentration of carbamyl phosphate will increase in OTC deficiency, and this will result in increased rate of synthesis of pyrimidines, and that is result in orotic acid. This carbamyl phosphate will be used in the pyrimidine synthesis, leading orotic aciduria. Citrulline is converted into arginosuccinate by the enzyme named arginosuccinate synthetase. The arginosuccinate is converted into arginine, and the enzyme works here. Name is arginosuccinate lyase. Arginosuccinate synthetase, arginosuccinate lyase. And the enzyme work here to form arginine to ornithine, and to form urea as a byproduct. That enzyme name is arginase. The urea cycle with the side TCA cycle, this whole reaction or whole pathway is known as urea bicycle. The urea cycle also known as ornithine cycle and also known as Krebs-Henselt urea cycle. In this process, when malate is converted into oxaloacetic acid or oxaloacetate, when malate is converted into oxaloacetate, one NADH will be produced from there. So the total energy used in urea cycle, 2 ATP in this process. So 2 ATP is used in this process. Plus here you can see 1 ATP is converted into AMP, that is basically equivalent to 2 ATP. So that is equivalent to 2 phosphate bond. Here 2 phosphate bond is gets break, so that is equivalent to 2 ATP. And 1 NADH is produced. So minus 1 NADH is equivalent to 2.5 ATP. So total energy consumed in this process is 1.5 ATP. Regulation of urea cycle. So there are mainly 3 type of regulation present to control the urea cycle. First one is course regulation or a long-term regulation. This is basically we are in a feeding state or in a starving state. If it is basically type of feeding, we are in a starving condition, there will be increased rate of urea synthesis, because in a starving situation, muscle proteolysis will be increased and more alanine will be produced from the muscle. So there will be increased rate of urea synthesis. If a patient or we can eat more dietary protein, then the synthesis of urea will be increased. And another is fine regulation or short-term regulation, also known as short-term regulations. In that case, in short-term regulation, what happens? There is a compound called NAG. This NAG compound will act on the CPS1 or carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1, act on this compound and stops its action. So the first step will not be completed, carbamoyl phosphate will not be synthesized, and the whole reaction or the whole cycle will be stopped. That is NAG, N-acetyl glutamate. How N-acetyl glutamate is formed? It is formed by acetyl CoA and glutamate. The action of NAG on CPS1, that is called fine regulation or short-term regulation. The PPI also inhibit that part of the reaction. And third one is, so first one is course regulation, depend on feeding state, and the second one is fine regulation, depend on NAG, N-acetyl glutamate. And third is compartmentalization. As the first 2 reaction, that is CPS1, that reaction, and the OTC reaction, these 2 reaction happens in the mitochondria, and also this reaction from. So through compartmentalization, this pathway or this cycle can be controlled. So first one is course regulation or long-term regulation, second one is fine regulation or short-term regulation, and third one is compartmentalization.